Hello everyone, I'm rocking one of my absolute favorite coffee mugs today, and in this video you're going to learn how to take a classic theme and add your own block types to it. Because maybe you have an idea for a few really custom powerful blocks that your client could use, and you know how to create those blocks, but you're wondering like, how do I sort of embed them or include them into the classic theme that you're building? It's exactly what we're going to learn how to do in this video. I'm not going to waste any of your time at the start of this video. So here I already have a classic theme. If you're wondering how you create a classic theme, well, luckily for you, this video is part of a playlist or a series on my channel. So just visit the playlist as a whole and go back a few lessons and you'll see exactly how to get this set up, how to spin up a local dev environment, how to have a text editor, how to create a theme and a plugin and everything. That's all I'll say about that in this video. So here I have my classic theme from our very previous video, right? That's what's creating this experience. And the question is, now that I have this classic theme, right, with files like page.php, single.php, so on and so forth, how can I add my own custom coded block types and sort of embed them into this theme? Now, I'm not saying that this is necessarily a best practice. You might want to create your block types as a plugin so that you can share them across multiple sites, or if you were going to make your block types publicly available, you would absolutely want to distribute them as a plugin so that even if a user switched to theme, they wouldn't just lose access to your block types, and everywhere where your block types appear, they wouldn't be broken. In this case, the way that I personally use WordPress is I'm developing one bespoke custom website for one client. And so I like the idea of including just everything in my one theme because I'm not going to allow the owner or client of the website to change the theme or install plugins or anything. I usually create a very locked down experience for the client. So in this case, I like to have everything just in one central place. So I'm just going to go ahead and register my block types in my classic theme here. Here's how you would do that. From your terminal or your command line that's pointing towards your classic theme, run this command with me. npx space @WordPress /create -block @latest, and then a space. Let's give our first block a name. Let's just call it like block 1, and then a space, say -- variant, and then a space dynamic, and then another space -- target-dir, target directory. Should just be the current directory that we're already in, so a period or a dot to represent the current directory. And then finally -- namespace, and then you could make up anything you want, but why don't we call it like my blocks? So this will be sort of the collection or the namespace for all of our blocks. It'll be like my blocks /block1 or my blocks /block2. So on and so forth. At this point, go ahead and press enter, and that shouldn't take maybe more than 1 or 2 minutes. As soon as it does finish, you'll now have new folders like build, node modules, src, and our first step here is actually to find the new PHP file. It'll be named whatever you named your first block. So remember, we chose a name of block 1. Go inside that new file, and if you scroll down to the very bottom, we just need these 4 or 5 lines of code here. So from the start of this function where it says function my blocks, and then it registers the block type, and then it's adding the action, just copy that little bit of block of code, copy that into your clipboard, and once you've made sure that it's in your clipboard, you can actually delete that file. So I'm going to delete block1.php, and instead we're just going to put it into our themes functions.php file. So in functions.php, you can just scroll down to the very, very bottom, paste in your clipboard. Beautiful. So it's going to look in the build directory for block 1. You can save this file. You can verify in your build folder, yes, you do indeed have block 1. Cool. So we should already be ready to go. So if I go back onto my website and if I start editing my post that's called bean salad, maybe after this paragraph, I'll try to add a new block type. And if I type in like / what do we call it? Block 1. Yes, there you see block 1. I can insert it. I can click save. I can refresh. Well, let me actually view the front end for that specific post here. So that was bean salad. Cool, there we see below that first paragraph, we see block 1, hello from a dynamic block. But we don't want just one block. You might want to create 5 or 10 or 30 or 50 different blocks. So let me show you how you would create your second block, or block number 2. So you would just go, definitely not in the build folder. You want to focus on the src folder. See how there's a folder called block 1 nested inside of source? Just duplicate the block 1 folder. You could open up the File Explorer on your computer, but I'll let you know that if you just make sure that you've clicked specifically on the block 1 folder, if you press Controller Command C and then Controller Command V, I just created a duplicate copy right here on VS Code, and then I would just right click and rename that one. So instead of block 1, let's call it like block 2. Now we do need to go into a file in that folder. We need to go into block.json and change this name property. So change the short name to be block 2. And then title is the human readable name. So you could call this like my great second block. Just save that. We can go into edit.js. And if you scroll down to the very bottom, this is what you're going to see on the admin editor side. This is React or JSX. So inside the P sandwich, you could say hello from our second block. You can save that, and then render.php is what will show up on the public front end of your website. You could delete everything in that file and just have a div and then like a heading level 3 that says our great second block, and then a paragraph that says this is awesome. You could even give that a class, and then you'll have sassy CSS or SCSS ready to go. So you could give this a class of like, second dash block. Then go into style.scss, say second dash block. You could say background color purple. Choose the exact value you want. Because this is sassy CSS, you can actually nest one rule inside of another rule. So you could say like any paragraph that lives inside of second block. Let's just say background color yellow, and maybe you want to give the parent div like padding 20 pixels. You get the idea. If I could save that. Now you won't notice any changes in your build folder. Notice there's still just the block 1. So you need to run it down in your command line. Either npm run build, that is just a one-time build. That'll do the trick. Now inside your build folder, you have block 1 and block 2. But what I like to do is just say npm run dev. Whoops, my mistake. This package does not use run dev. It uses start. So you can say npm run start, but a little bit of a trick. If the task that you're trying to run is called literally just start, you don't even need to have the word run. You can just say npm start. What this is going to do is run forever in the background. So now anytime you save any change to any of your blocks, it's going to rebundle them up into the build folder. Now, before this would appear on our website, we can't forget, WordPress can't read our minds. It doesn't know about all these blocks. We have to register these blocks. So you just go into your themes functions.php, and remember this line where we copied this over, just duplicate that line, right? Paste it in. So now you have one for block 1, and then change this one to pull in or register block 2. Now if I save that and refresh my admin editor experience, and maybe I'll try to add in block 2, or what did we call it? Like second block or amazing. Yeah, my great second block. So I can hit save, I can refresh the front end, and there you have it. There's the sassy CSS, there's our custom block type. So here's block 1, here's block 2, the sky is the limit. If you're wondering how to actually do something fun or interesting on the admin editor side, again, just dig back in the playlist a couple of videos. We learned how to set this up, the pet block, where you can type in a custom value here, and then you can select like yes or no to this question of show the weight. So at this point, now you just need to apply your JavaScript and React skills to create something interesting for your client. And then again, on the front end, just practice your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript skills to create an interesting front end. And again, to let you know, JavaScript is available here on the front end. So for example, like in block number 2, so in the SRC folder, block 2, you'll see a file named view.js. You could delete everything in that file and say like alert, hello from block 2. I can save that, and if I refresh, we see this is JavaScript, but more importantly, hello from block 2. So outside this video playlist, you can go practice your JavaScript skills, but I will let you know, in another video or two, we're going to learn about the REST API in WordPress, and we will indeed practice our JavaScript a bit together, and we'll make a feature come to life where you can search for custom posts on the fly, and that'll be a fun JavaScript exercise. That is going to bring this video to a close. To summarize, you can now add as many different block types to your classic theme as you want to. The sky is the limit. Again, just to recap, you're going to always, and then you press Control-C to stop that task. You're always going to want to either manually run a one-time npm run build or an ongoing npm start. Beautiful. Now, if you're enjoying this video series and you want to help support this YouTube channel, the best way is to visit my website, learnwebcode.com. I have a Patreon you can check out. One of the biggest perks is to get your name featured in the closing credits of these videos. There's a similar membership perk tier system on YouTube. I have many different courses online. I have 9 in total. You can join them on both Udemy and Teachable. For the last 19 years, I've used DreamHost to host all of my websites. I've had excellent experiences with them. And if you use my link here, my affiliate link to DreamHost, I will receive compensation for sending new users their way. So that's an excellent way to help support this YouTube channel. You can join my newsletter. You can follow me on different social media. That's about it. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. In our next video, we're going to learn how to create a block theme or a full site editing block theme. While that may not be my favorite type of theme, I think it's a really interesting exercise, and I think it's just fun to see how WordPress works, regardless of our personal preference as to how we think it should work. Anyway, stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you very soon. This video was made possible by my supporters on Patreon and YouTube memberships. I don't have any producers yet, but your name could go here. But I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Rodney, David, Linas, Demetris, and Kenneth for being sponsor tier members over on Patreon. Really appreciate that support. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.